Let us understand how to use to underscore char to extract information from date or timestamp. To underscore date is counterpart to underscore char. If you want to convert a string to date using standard format, then you use to underscore date. So you have to specify the string and the format in which the string has to be interpreted so that it can be converted to standard format as part of to underscore date. Here is how we can get date related information such as year, month, day, etc. from date or timestamp. In some cases, we'll also see examples using to underscore date. Let's load the SQL magic, and also let me create this database underscore URL environment variable. We can get the current timestamp by using this approach. Now let's say I want to get the year part from the current timestamp. This is how it will look like. You can say to char current timestamp, or even you can specify the hard coded timestamp, and then you can say YYY like this. It will return 4-digit year. You can also interpret a 4-digit year as a date by passing the year as first argument to date, and then you have to specify that it has to be interpreted as year. That's why we have to specify YYY here, and hence it will be able to convert this to a date. As there is no month and day part to this string, it will just return the first day of the year, which is nothing but 2020 January 1st. Let's run this query and let's see the output here. So using to underscore char, we are able to get the year part from the timestamp. With the to date, we are able to interpret 2020 as a date, and it have returned the first date of the year because it doesn't have month part or day part within the string which is passed to underscore date. You can also specify two characters like this to get 2-digit year. Similarly, you can interpret a 2-digit year as a date by specifying YY like this, and it will give us 2020 January 1st. You can run this and you should be able to see the output. Now if you want to get the month part from the timestamp or date, this is how it will look like. You can say to underscore char current timestamp or current date or any hard coded date or timestamp, and you can say capital M like this. It will just return the month in 2-digit format. You can also use to underscore date. However, you cannot just specify the month and say and try to interpret as first of current month. It will not work. You have to have year part also to actually convert the string like this, which have the year part as well as month part, to some standard date, which is nothing but 2020 November 1st in this case. You should be able to run this and you can see the output. So this have returned 11 and this have returned 2020 1101. Now if you remove this 2020 and also YYYY, you can see that it is throwing error. So it doesn't like just the month part to be interpreted as date. However, if you have both year and month part, it will work. Same is the case with the date. If you try to just specify date and try to interpret, it will not work. You have to specify year part, month part and day part or date part as part of the string, which should be interpreted as a date. However, this can be of any format. So you can have month first and then day and then year. You can have different delimiter than hyphen. You can even have colons as the delimiters. For example, in this case, I can actually say colon and also colon here. However, here we have to update the format, otherwise it will not know. So all you need to remember with respect to TrueDate is whatever string you are passing, you have to tell how to interpret as date. So in this case, the columns should be interpreted as columns only, and it will ignore those things. Only the year part and month part and day part, it will try to convert using that information to a valid date. You can also get only the date part or day part from the timestamp using this approach. Just small d will give us the today's date, day part or date part. Now I can run this and you can see the output here. You can also use capital D, not just small d. It also will work. You can see the output here. However, if you use 3 Ds like this, then it will actually return the day within the year. Whatever today's date within the year, that number will be returned as integer. You can also interpret the day within the year and convert to date by specifying capital D like this as part of the toDate function. Let me see if small d will work. Even small d or capital D should work. You can also specify the text format of months and dates like this or days like this. So in this case, we are trying to interpret the 3-character month with uppercase at the beginning as November month. This will return 2020 November 1st. Here we are trying to get the month part in 3-character format with the first character being uppercase. You can see the output here. Month name is NOV with N capital. You can also specify small or lowercase like this. It will also give us the similar result with small NOV. You can also use this as part of the to underscore date. If you want to get the complete month like November, December, January, February, etc., you just have to specify the format as month with M capital. Then you will get the full month with the beginning character in uppercase. You can also say month all lowercase, then it will be all lowercase. You can also say month in uppercase, everything in uppercase, then it will return month in all uppercase. You can see the example for the lowercase. You can also get the name of the day using day like this. If you want to get 3 character day, then you can actually specify the day like this. In this case, it will give us in uppercase. However, you can change this y to lowercase and it will give us in lowercase. So just play around with this and you should be able to understand. When we use day to get the complete name of a day, it will return 9 character string by padding with spaces. And hence, if you try to use this in where condition, and if you just compare with the actual day, it will not work. For example, Tuesday is not 9 character, it is only 7 character. As there will be spaces on the left side, either you have to say space space Tuesday, or you have to just trim off it and you can compare with the Tuesday. Let's see a couple of examples and you will understand. In this case, Sunday is a 6 character string and there will be 3 spaces on the left. Now you can actually use this approach of length and validate. You can actually see. So for 2020 November 17th, it is Tuesday. The actual length of the string that is returned by this function is 9. However, when we trim it, it is only 7, which means there are spaces on the left side. So if you are trying to use to compare against a day, such as Tuesday, Sunday, Monday, etc., make sure you use the trim on the left side so that it will work. Otherwise, it will not work. Here is how we can get time related information such as hour, minute, seconds, milliseconds, etc. from timestamp. So far we have seen the date, month, year related stuff. Now we are talking about time related stuff. If you want to get the time in 24-hour format, this is how it will look like. You just have to say capital H like this and you should be able to get the time in 24-hour format. As of now the time is 12:57 and you can see it is 12 in 24-hour format. You can also get it in 12-hour format using this approach. If you say small h, it will actually give the time in 12-hour format. You can also extract the minute part using like this. Make sure you use capital M for month and small m for minute. People tend to get confused here. It is always month with respect to capital M and minute with respect to small m. This is how you should be able to get the second part. And this is how you should be able to get the millisecond part. You can see that it is 002 milliseconds at this time. Here is how we can get the information from date or timestamp in the format we require. So with respect to toChar, you can also specify the format in which you want to extract. It's not only just month or year or date that needs to be extracted. We might want to extract in a specific format. In this case, we might want to get year and month part like this as integers. So after applying toChar, which will return the string, if you want to explicitly convert to integer type, you can actually say : int like this, and you should be able to return the current month 2020-11 in the form of integer. You can also get the date part and you should be able to extract all year, month and date. Again, if you want to typecast it to integer, you can say : int like this. It will take care of converting the data type explicitly to integer type. By default, the format will have hyphen to separate the year, month and date part. If you want to change the delimiter to / or semicolon or whatever character you want, you can specify that also. In this case, I am trying to interpret the date part of current timestamp using /mm /dd. Now it will return 2020 /11 /22. This is how you should be able to leverage toChar to extract the information the way you want from the date or timestamp. Also, the strings, whatever you want to interpret as dates with valid values, you should be able to take care by using to_date function. These two are very commonly used date functions and hence you should have mastery of both. With respect to Postgres, on top of toChar to extract the information, we also have other functions which we'll be seeing as part of the next topic. But toChar and toDate are widely used because they are available in almost all the other databases, and hence I would highly recommend you to spend a bit more time and get comfortable with respect to toChar and toDate.